Like usable punch, I mean, like that acceleration's tasty, man. Yeah, let's just get one more good look at her before I send her off forever. I don't know why I keep saying that. I'm gonna see you again, baby. I'm gonna see you again. This is not the end. This is just the start of something better, a new journey. Alright guys, what is up? So today, it's finally happening. Today is gonna be the day that I finally say goodbye to the SV650. Well, almost goodbye. I'm selling it, well, I've already sold it to a good friend of mine, and we're gonna be hopefully riding together in the near future, so I'm probably gonna see it again, but riding it, yeah, this is probably gonna be the last time that I ride it for a very long time. If not, this might be the last time that I ever ride this thing. And yeah, man, a lot of memories with this bike. A lot of memories. I remember the day that I bought her. You know, I went over to the guy's house, and at this point I had only ridden the Harley that they let you ride at the course, the MSF course, if you take it at Harley, which I did. And this bike felt like a death trap, you know? It was like the bars felt so low. I can't believe how low I felt the bars were. Like now it feels super comfortable, you know, because I've ride the R6 around and I've gotten used to that. But yeah, it's different. But yeah, so much time has passed since then. You know, that's been what, 2 years ago? Man, time flies. Holy cow. But yeah, I bought the R6, as you guys know, and in order to do that, I sold this bike to a close friend of mine. So he's gonna be getting the SV, and that's where I'm bringing it to today, his house. Oh man, I love that. She still got kick. I mean, like I said in my previous video, man, like I would have kept her, man, if I wasn't just obsessed with the R6. I would have kept this bike. You know, it's an awesome bike, and I've done a lot of aftermarket stuff to it, you know, especially cosmetically. You can see the blinkers on the mirrors, which I think look pretty sick. I got an aftermarket clutch lever. I turned my brake lever into a shorty because I dropped it. And drops, man, boy, did I have some drops on this bike, which obviously my friend knows. I've told him about the drops a million times, so he knows what he's getting. But that's the big thing that people will tell you, and you'll kind of probably play it off like, oh yeah, that won't be me. But the whole you will drop your first bike thing, I did not think I was going to be one of those people. I thought I had pretty good balance. No, I dropped this bike a few times. Some standing still, some backing out, some of them when the rectifier regulator went out, it just kind of cut power out of nowhere when I was pulling out of a parking lot, and as I was tilted, the bike shut off, and then I fell over because I had no speed and I was tilted. But yeah, a lot of also good memories, you know, going out on the road, you know, especially at night. You know, I don't know what it is, but I love riding at night. When I first got this bike, I rode pretty much 90% of my time at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's, where I live, no one's there, you know, which is awesome, you know, because the whole, I think a big thing about riding a motorcycle is getting used to the fact that there are cars around you and riding with traffic, riding on roads where you're seeing cars coming at you. It's pretty scary, you know, when you first start riding, because you're so small, you know, and you don't have the front of the car to protect you, you know, that can cave in. I mean, if you hit anything, it's you hitting it, you know. But eventually you get used to it, and man, just having a lot of memories come back to me as I'm riding this thing. I might have mentioned this in my previous video, but I'm also very happy that I bought a 650 as opposed to a like a 300 or something, just because, like I keep saying, like I could stick with this bike forever. I mean, it's got the punch, you know. I mean, like street, like usable punch, I mean, like that acceleration's tasty, man. It doesn't compare to the R6, but it is more than enough for what you'll use on the street, you know. And I think a lot of people are just scared to jump that high, which obviously you could. Like, there really is no right or wrong way to do it. It's just the only thing I discourage people, really, I know I keep saying like, oh, I recommend a beefier bike than a 300 as your first bike, at least in my case. But the problem comes, I really think, when you get too much bike, like an R1 or like an H2 or something crazy, you know, where if you flip the throttle wrong and you forget to pull in that clutch and you just yank that throttle, you'll pop a wheelie, you know. So that's the kind of trouble that I can see people getting in if they start on a too powerful of a bike. And then too weak of a bike, you have no throttle respect, you know, because you're so used to just wailing on it, you know. If you drive a 300 or a 250, you're just cranking it all the time, you know. 650, baby. I think that's the perfect spot, you know. And even if you did buy like a weaker bike, like you bought like a 250 or a 300 or something, it's not like you're gonna stick with that thing forever, you know. Almost every motorcyclist goes through multiple bikes, you know. So I mean, if you buy too weak of a bike, you can always move up, because I know 300 guys, they buy new bikes like within a year, less than a year. I had this 650 for 2 years, and I really would have kept it longer had I not found this R6 that I got, you know. It was just a good deal. I was able to talk the guy down because some leaky forks he wheels and some other problems, but it's all fixable. I also noticed something too, is that this bike is a lot more quiet than the R6. Just that alone makes you drive not as aggressively. It's really weird. That screaming from the R6 almost eggs you on to go faster. Like it's telling you that it wants to go faster. And that's the thing I think people like will not realize, is when they get an R6, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, it's very manageable, like in the lower RPMs, you know, it's manageable. It is, but the problem is that you're gonna hear the engine really excite once you start pushing it higher, and you're gonna want to keep it there. Because like the bike is meant to go fast, and the sound that it gives, it sounds happier and more epic when you rev it up higher, and that'll egg you on to like let on the throttle a little bit more. So it's a weird thing. I never really thought about it beforehand. I don't think I've seen anyone talk about it, because with the SV, I mean, you're cruising at like average speeds, you know, it feels great. It's not really pushing you to go faster. Yeah, if you got good self-control, I mean, go for it. I mean, I don't know, I hate saying like you can't start on a bike like this, or you should start. I really hate that dialogue, because everyone is different. Everything that I say is just from my perspective. It's for me. I would have been an idiot to get the R6 as my first bike, because I am sometimes an idiot, and I push things a little bit too much, and I'm happy that I started on this bike. But yeah, I'm also like curious to see like what you guys started with and what you guys are with now. That'd be pretty cool to see. If you guys can leave comments and let me know what kind of bikes you guys are riding. If I could do it all over again, I would go again 650 to 600, and then from 600 maybe to R1. I might get an R1 down the road. I might just go back down to an SV, because I love them so much. I mean, look at this thing. Look at her go. But yeah, let's just get one more good look at her before I send her off forever. I don't know why I keep saying that. I'm gonna see you again, baby. I'm gonna see you again. This is not the end. This is just the start of something better, a new journey. Can't really see her too good in the light, but she looks really good. I did drop her a few times. Never like at anything like at speed, you know. And yeah, I bought these things after I dropped it. Those pegs have never been tested. So if you guys are gonna buy a bike as your first bike, I super suggest, at least in my scenario, get crash bars or get some sort of protection for your bike. You know, I'm very lucky that I didn't damage the tank or anything, you know. I mean, I did snap this lever, but it's okay, you know. I made it a shorty. Some people like that, you know. Comment below, let me know what your first bike was. Let me know your experience of selling that first bike. Were you crying? Did you really miss your baby? I'm gonna see this bike again, you know. My buddy and I are gonna be riding around, so you might see this bike being ridden in a future video. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm gonna go give her to her new owner and maybe hang out a little bit. So I'll see you guys on the flip side. Later.